The whales are doing something really interesting with XRP, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later in this video. It's also related to the other things I'm going to talk about in this video, so if you're interested in that, don't tune away. Anyway, so I want to talk about exchanges and their involvement in liquidations. Now, I was watching some of my favorite YouTube channels today, and a lot of them have been talking about liquidations. The thing is, even though content creators like myself talk about hodling and dollar cost averaging, occasionally many of us do dabble in leverage, right? I personally do. I use JumpX, link in description and not financial advice. And, I treat it as gambling, and so far so good. I'm doing pretty well. I've won some, I've lost some, but overall I've won more than I've lost. In the recent times now, with the volatility in the markets, it's ever more dangerous to play leverage than normal. So be extremely careful. Make sure you don't put in there money that you won't be okay to losing, right? Now, it sucks to lose money. Obviously, nobody wants to lose money, but the key is that your portfolio isn't completely destroyed and you're not ruined by liquidations when they do eventually happen. Also, if you're playing leverage, then make sure that you master basics about charts, look around at sentiment, and learn how to use stop losses and things like that, right? They're going to save your bacon when you're asleep at night and someone gets arrested in France and you wake up and you've lost all your money, okay? Now, talking of which, some of these liquidations, when they start to happen, some of them don't make any sense, right? Or they go down further than you expect. Now, there's a lot of leverage in the market because the market is currently oversold by a long shot. Now, whether it be XRP, Bitcoin, and Toncoin, whatever, the market is extremely oversold, which means that people expect it to go up. There are two types of people that, or at least two types of people that play a lot of leverage. You have people who want to take opportunity. They see that the market is about to go up and they want to take opportunity. Perhaps they're a little bit greedy. Some people go in, 100x, 200x, whatever. And these people are often the cause of the liquidations that we see. Secondly, we get people who have lost a lot of money in the previous years, months, days, and they're trying to recoup their losses. So they're putting extravagant longs, extravagant shorts, which eventually get liquidated. The house always wins, right? So it kind of reminds you of the behavior of people in casinos, right? So you're chasing a bad money with good money. Instead of just cutting your losses and getting out, you put more and more and more money, chasing that same position, hoping that eventually it would move in your favor and you will recoup all of your losses. And this behavior, this gambling addiction behavior, of course, lends itself to cryptocurrency. So if you have this personality, a gambling personality, it doesn't matter if you're in the casinos, you're in Las Vegas, you're, playing blackjack, whatever it is, or you're playing leverage in crypto, you would tend to behave the same. So with everything, it's important to moderate your emotions, moderate how you feel about what's going on. Understand that some of the FOMO and the FUD are artificial and they're manipulation based. Another thing that you must realize is that whales are always looking, right? So they understand the market more than we do, and they see when there's massive leverage. Now, a whale can dump on the market to create a liquidation, a long liquidation, even if the whale believes that it's going up eventually. All they see is liquidation. They can dump, buy at extremely low prices, and then they win. So they basically take your money from you. Whales take your money from you when they do long and short liquidations, because those whales actually also believe in the same thing, that the market is going the same way. So, they liquidate you so that they have more liquidity and make more money eventually. It's a little bit hot in London today. It's 27 degrees and I put some lotion on myself, which is why you see that I'm dissolving very, very slowly. I've been seeing a lot of allegations floating around that the exchanges might also be participating in liquidating people. Now, if you think about it, right, when you get liquidated, the exchange gets paid either way, right? They're like lawyers, right? Or like, middlemen that get paid regardless whether you win or lose. Now, back in the day, there was the popularity of the win-only lawyers because people understood this and suddenly started not trusting lawyers so much. And in order to get a leg up on other lawyers started to offer no win, no fee basis. Now, an idea for exchanges, it's not time yet because we're not savvy yet and people are not mentally prepared to come together and fight this. But It'll be interesting in the near future if we get exchanges that are a win-only exchange, so that on that exchange, if you were to be liquidated, then they lose with you. And if you win, then they win with you. Until we'll have this, I think exchanges are going to be complicit in participating in liquidating their clients. It is what it is. Now, there's no actual proof or evidence of this, but it is the general feeling, and sometimes it just seems a little bit convenient, right? You're on Binance, you're on, Mexi, whatever, and you put in a long trade. They can see the data, they can see all of the positions, they can see who's got a stop loss, who hasn't, they can see all the levels of liquidity, and they can go in and make things happen. They have control of the platform. They have a good stash of crypto. They can probably use other people's crypto to do things temporarily. If you think this is impossible, we've seen what happened with FTX and how they used user funds to do other things. SBF and his goons did that easily on their platforms, right? And some of the charges that the CEO of Binance was charged with is something similar to this. Apart from money laundering, also using user funds to do things that they weren't supposed to. So this is something that's very common with exchanges. Now you have to understand that exchanges are businesses and they only care about themselves. They don't care about you. They care about the bottom line. Like any other business, their reason to exist is to make money. One thing that has been happening in XRP in the last months, I'd say, is the gradual, very slow and steady move of XRP from medium-sized to small-sized holders to whales. So whales have been quietly accumulating XRP, but not in giant chunks. They've been doing it slowly and regularly, and they've been accumulating from people who have been panic selling. So if you've been panic selling XRP, the whales have been buying them up on exchanges. That way, the demand hasn't shown and it hasn't moved the market as much as if the whales just went in and bought massive chunks, right? Think about it. Most of the people who hold XRP on the retail basis, right? Retail holders of XRP that believe in XRP, members of the XRP army, they are holding XRP on a long-term basis. They have the XRP stashed away in some sort of cold wallet, Zoom wallet or whatever, and they're not panic selling. They know where they're going, they know what they hold, and they're not selling. Those same retail holders are also not buying more because they basically have maxed out their stash mostly, or they just don't have the extra money to buy anymore. But who has extra money are whales that have a lot of dry powder on exchanges, and they have been mopping up from all of the panic sellers, completely mopping up, but not buying more than they need to in order not to move the market. So even though we don't see it on a day-to-day basis, if you look at the charts and the data over months, we would notice a massive accumulation, slow and steady, by the whales. Why? Because the whales know something that most people don't, and that XRP is going to melt faces. Cue in the haters in the comment section. Not financial advice, of course. Do your own research. I'm going to get some fresh air.